What's good, YouTube? This is Boxingwave. I wanted to just do a quick recap of the Claressa Shields, Vanessa lepage-joanisse fight that was over this weekend on the Zone. Great card for me, especially for me. I won every bet that was there. Cashapp, I did a live bet. Ended up picking Smith to beat him on a live bet. I think after the second round or so. I won money on that one. I won money on the decision with Michelle Rivera, and I also won money on the Claressa Shield by knockout. All right, so it was a good weekend. Plus, I got Derek Chisora. I hit on the Derek Chisora win as well, so I hit pretty good this weekend. All right, but yeah, fun fight. It was really fun. I was really concerned because Claressa Shields was just out in the crowd like before the fight and stuff like that. So I was like, man, she should be in a locker room just, I guess getting prepared for the fight. But I guess she was really that comfortable and all that. So as you can see, I didn't think her opponent was going to be a threat. But I did get a chance to watch her fight maybe a couple days before the fight. And I saw that she was kind of like a bull. Like, she comes in, she gets low. She, has an aggressive style. She likes to throw combinations. So I was like, she's a big woman. This is for a heavyweight title, WBC. And I said, like, oh, like, I think Claressa's going to be fine. But I also was a little bit concerned about, just her fighting at a heavier weight and stuff. But Claressa got the stoppage, dropped her twice before the third knockdown, which is where the referee waved it off. All right, and it was just funny to watch because the crowd. This fight was in Detroit. The crowd was screaming, "Whoop that trick!" as the fight was going. Yo, it was crazy. It was wild, and this is what I like about like when fighters fight in their hometown because people are gonna turn up in a different way. And I've been saying this about Claressa for a minute. Like I've been making videos on her for a while, and I like the fact that she's fighting in Detroit, and just performing. Like she has a big enough name to just perform at home and give shows like this at home. Like, and it's just did in Philly, the fight that I went to Philly to watch. Just like Shakur Stevenson fighting in Newark. You know what I mean? And anybody that fights at home, like I went to London to see the domestic dust up between Wardley and what's this guy named Frazier. So look, I like when people fight at home because people are just gonna turn up, and I think that's what happened with Claressa. I think it was dope seeing her there. Now, I don't know where she's gonna go from here because she's basically beaten everybody at this point. There's not really much out there as far as a heavyweight. Yes, it's a good division to pick up another title in, but there's not no any depth up there, and she pretty much beaten everybody at super middleweight. So I don't know what other options there are as far as like fighting people. I mean, she's been up and down in weight throughout her career. I don't know if she would fight Franchise Cruz for a rematch or end up fighting Savannah Marshall again. These are fights that could be good fights for her. But this is a part where I really wanted to make a video on. I've thought for some time now that Claressa is the best talent in female boxing. And that's my stance. I have Katie at number two. I've always had Katie at number two. I think there were times, and you can make an argument that Katie's resume is better off quality of fights. And I get that. I'm not going to argue with that, like as far as resume. But based on talent, I just thought that Claressa was always a more talented fighter. It's just that she's fought in the bigger divisions, and to a lot of people, they feel like the opposition is not as good up in those divisions. You know what I mean? So, I kind of like to rank it, 1A and a 1B or 1 and number 2. But I always thought it was those two as far as talent is concerned. I thought those two were always the best talent. But I think Claressa Shield, in my opinion, is the best talent to me. I just think her hand speed, just her skills overall. I just thought that as a female boxer, I just thought that she was in a different space than everybody else. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion, though. This is not about a video about who's better between the two, because I already been there. I'm cool with people thinking that Katie is better because Katie's a phenomenal fighter with a phenomenal resume. All right, but Claressa only could fight who she could fight. And that's fine. I think the problem I have with Claressa, and I've always had this issue with Claressa, is I feel like if you are the self-proclaimed GOAT or GWOAT, right? If you're the greatest women boxer of all time, act like it. Stop looking for acceptance for people that don't like you. You know, just be you. Stop looking for acceptance from others. Not everybody, people are always going to criticize you. There are people that are not going to like you. There are people that's going to say things about you. They're going to say things about you that is in regards to things that's outside of the ring. They might talk about your appearance. They might talk about the way you talk. They might talk about who you be with. They might talk about your rap video. Whatever it is, people are going to say something. People are always going to have a problem with you. That's with every fighter. But carry yourself like a champ in and out of the ring. In the ring, you're definitely the best to me. Outside of the ring, there's a lot of insecurities there. And I think it's normal, but you don't need to address it and show it all the time. I think part of being a champion is dealing with the criticism that comes with it, because people are always going to be tired of you winning. You know, they're going to be tired of you winning, and they might not like the way you handle yourself or what you say in certain interviews. I definitely watch interviews with her, and I didn't like certain things that she said, but it's a lot of it is due to insecurity. Like, I don't think you need to be insecure. Like, you're doing amazing things, winning titles in different divisions. You beat someone that everybody thought was going to knock you out in Savannah Marshall. You went over into MMA and tried that. You have a lot of courage. You got a lot of heart. Do it for you, but stop doing it to please people, you know? If other fighters want to run around and say that they're the GOAT or say that they're the greatest, you shouldn't react to it every single time someone has something to say. If you're the queen and if you're at the top, act like you're at the top. Let them talk up to you. Stop talking down on other people. And that's my personal problem with Claressa Shields. I'm a big fan of her, but sometimes I feel like she has to do, you know, going on Twitter and reacting to every single negative tweet. It's just not the way you gotta roll. You don't have to do it. You know, I said this recently about Shakur Stevenson. You're on here making millions of dollars, you know, per fight. You're responding to people that probably, some of those people that you're replying to can't fight at all, not making a percentage of what you're making. You know what I mean? Like, enjoy what you have. Enjoy what you accomplish. Stop reacting to just random people on the internet. Stop reacting to every journalist out there that don't necessarily like you. Let's do what you got to do. You know, I think people like feed off her insecurity and like to attack her because they know that she's going to respond. And that goes for other boxers, whatever Tank Davis said about her or whatever. Just, you know, just keep doing what you got to do. You know, I'm just not into, you know, all of the, I don't know, a lot of things she say and do. I think it's too much sometimes. And I think, like, yo, if you're the best, you don't have to do all of that. Just my opinion, you know. And yo, if she were to ever like watch this video and get mad at me for saying it, I don't care. Like, I'm gonna say it because I think people need to hear these kind of things sometimes. Like, people get lost and maybe they don't have the people around them that's saying, or maybe she do have the people saying the same thing I do, and maybe she's just doing what she wants to do anyway. All right, so, you know, at the end of the day, keep winning. That's all she can really do. You know, there's a lot of, like, look at the Klitschko's. there was a long period where people wasn't really following heavyweight boxing like that because they had a great run. They had a great championship run. And for a good amount of time, a lot of fans were saying like, yo, the Klitschko's ain't fighting nobody. It's not that they ain't nobody. It's not that any of those guys aren't any good. It's just that they're not familiar here. There's no Americans here that really know any of those opponents. So people didn't care. Keep picking up those wins. Keep creating history. Just keep building on your legacy. Keep winning. And whatever fights you can get the best fights that you can get at those weight classes that you can fight in. And just, if you have to move down a couple divisions again and get another good fight, then do it. But stop calling out like these lightweights and stuff. They're not gonna fight you. You're too big for them. You know, and beating them doesn't prove anything because if you were to beat them, you're gonna go back to calling out men like Keith Thurman. You know what I mean? Like, it's always something you're gonna want. You want to prove to the world, that you can beat everyone. And I like that competitive side of her, but I don't like, some of the insecurity side, the way that you gotta feel like you gotta please everybody and all that. Like, prove to everybody that criticizes you. That's the part I don't like. So keep doing this. Gonna people that's gonna criticize you and say that you're not fighting any good people. They said that about a lot of fighters. They were saying that about Naoya Inoue recently when he was down there doing his thing. They were saying that about Crawford, that he wasn't fighting anyone. Like, people are always gonna say shit about someone that's gonna keep winning. When they lose you, when you lose, people start saying, yo, I respect them, they're humble, this and that. But when you're winning and you're beating everyone continuously, people are gonna find a way to criticize you. It's a part of life, not just boxing. So, that's it. That's really all I really have to say about Claressa Shields. Just keep handling your business and just keep on winning. I mean, you're still young. You're not even 30 years old. Like, and you accomplish way more than what people are gonna accomplish in life. Like, I won't even respond to people on Twitter, man. I have a small channel here on YouTube, and I don't respond to people. So what are you responding to them for? Just my opinion, all right? So anyway, I'm out. Y'all have a good one. Peace.